Hi guys, welcome back to Chai and Makeup. Grab your chai and get ready with me while we talk about one of the most researched findings about relationships. And I have a cold right now, so please bear with me. Anyhow, as a therapist, I often get asked by people, what is the biggest red flag in a relationship or marriage? And honestly, my answer actually comes from decades of research by a psychologist named John Gottman. I will link his excellent articles in the description if you would like to learn more. Anyhow, after studying thousands of couples for decades, he identified what he called the four horsemen, or basically communication patterns that can kind of damage a relationship. Well, actually, seriously damage a relationship, and they have been shown to be predictors of divorce. He kind of guessed which people from his study would stay married or get divorced with a close to 94% accuracy. Like, that is huge. Now, I want to be very, very clear. Every couple argues and has disagreements. Like, that's just something that comes with a relationship, and that's never really the issue. The issue is how you argue that truly matters. First horseman is criticism. Criticism isn't just like bringing up a concern. For example, saying something like, I felt hurt when you forgot our plans is healthy. But criticism really just sounds like you never think about anyone but yourself. So, do you kind of see the difference there? Like, one talks about the behavior while the other kind of attacks the other person as an individual. So, that's really one of the biggest differences. Typically, when someone feels personally attacked, they usually stop listening and start defending themselves. And this is why I statements are great to use in any relationship. And I can do another video on I statements in the future, so that will be coming soon. But anyhow, we're going to kind of use the defensiveness topic and get into our second horseman, which is defensiveness. Now, this horseman is very common. Basically, defensiveness is explaining ourselves or shifting blame instead of actually taking responsibility. So, an example of this could be something like, oh, I only forgot to do that because you didn't remind me. Defensiveness feels natural in the moment, but it can make your partner feel unheard. So, instead of defending yourself, you can try to say something like, I can see why that upset you, or I can see why you are hurt. That kind of shows empathy and it shows a little bit of accountability, which can totally change how your partner reacts. Then is the third horseman, which is contempt. This is the number one thing Gottman's research found to be very damaging to a relationship, and some even call it the number one predictor of divorce. Contempt is basically when disrespect really enters the relationship. It could be anything from eye rolling, mocking your partner, sarcastic comments that hurt the other person, calling your partner names such as lazy, basically just in general making them feel less than terrible, which obviously no one deserves to feel. Number four is stonewalling. Stonewalling is basically when someone emotionally shuts down. I tend to see this in a lot of Pakistani, Indian, Desi people, specifically males. This looks like not replying back to your partner, walking away, going completely radio silent, or even just emotionally checking out. Sometimes people do this because they're overwhelmed and don't know how to deal with the intense emotions. So if this happens to you, it's okay to take a break. This can all seem very scary, but just because you noticed one or two or even all four of these patterns doesn't mean your relationship is doomed or will end in divorce. The goal is awareness and what we can do to fix these patterns. I think a lot of us growing up didn't see the most healthy examples of communication in marriages and relationships. So it's important for us to learn this stuff now, I feel like. And also, I think that's one of the most amazing things about this research is that it's not about finding the perfect partner or being perfect yourself. It's truly about learning healthier ways to communicate and grow together. But anyhow, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please leave me a comment below. Maybe which of these four horsemen do you think people overlook the most, or something about, something you've experienced that deals with these. I don't know. And as always, take care and be kind to yourselves, and bye.